Japan ruined me. Japan ruined me
For what?
water.
Just in general?
Well, no, actually, no. No, I was never. So I've always had
financially, emotionally,
a water bottle. You know, a reusable. Like I have long been a reusable water bottle person. Never, you know, my parents
ecologically friendly.
Yeah, my parents also like. I grew up in Michigan, where the water coming out of the tap tastes delicious. It tastes like the best fucking water you've ever had. And
can't relate.
Yeah. And growing up, my parents would buy bottled water, and I was like, these fucking pieces of shit, what are they doing? And so I've always been a reusable water person. Well, I moved to Pennsylvania, and that's a tough adjustment, but I've gotten used to it. You know, the tap water with the filter and stuff, it's still not great. But I went to Japan, and I didn't take a water bottle over there. And so I was just drinking out of, like, water bottles, like reusable or single-use ones, or just, like, glasses of water. And it fucking changed my life coming back here, because now every time I drink water out of, like, a bottle that is, like, a reusable one, I taste the bottle. It's like the experience is like so much worse. Yeah. Like I didn't know how bad I had it until I went and had it good. And so now as my special treat to myself every once in a while is I will buy the big ass, you know, Smart Water or something, because it tastes so much better. But
they are nice. Yeah. Do you have a preferred, like, splurge water, I guess
it's Smart Water. I like Smart Water a lot.
Smart Water?
Yeah. But I mean, like, I feel like you can definitely taste the difference between waters, but, like, they're not that different. Yeah. You know, the Smart Water's the nice... I like the bottle size. I like, you know, but...
Okay.
Even though this is, like, $15, not really, but, like, the big one that's, like, a gallon of water.
Yeah, it's still, they're
expensive.
I think that's Zach's preferred, and, like... I will drink that when I'm around them sometimes. But, like, I don't know. They change, because, like, every so often they'll be like, oh, Rick, got this new water. Zach and Tori are big water bottle drinkers.
Really? Anti-shout-out to them. Killing the planet. So
wow.
am I, but, you know, tea.
Have you ever tried Wakia or something like that? Or Wakia,
no, I'm new to this whole... only within the last, like, 6 months.
True.
You know?
So... It's like a square bottle, and then it like peaks in like mountain ridges, and it's like a turquoise, I guess, which like fades to blue, and it's either from like Hawaii or Iceland. It's one of the two, right? Pretty good stuff. There's a couple of like nice, like off-brand. Oh, it's definitely from Iceland. I was thinking of Fiji. Fiji water is actually
Fiji's
from Hawaii.
pretty good. I like Fiji.
Fiji not bad?
Are you sure the Fiji water is not from Fiji?
It's, you know, it could be from Fiji. The thing is, I know one of them's from Hawaii, and it's one of the ones that I like, and I can't think of any of the other ones' names right now.
I don't know.
If it is from Fiji, come on. But it could also be one of those things where it's like, oh, it's like a funny, like, not misnomer, but like, mislabeling, maybe. Which people ran with.
I'm sure all of it comes from the tap. Like, I'm sure most of this shit just comes from the tap.
So?
Tap and then, like, filtered specially, I'm guessing. I don't think it's, like, literally from Fiji. Maybe it is. I don't know. But
there's the distinct difference between, like, purified water and spring water.
For sure. Right? Oh, yeah. For sure. And I like spring water, but I'll do the Smart Water just because it's easier to access sometimes in, like, bulk like this. But I don't even like...
A good reverse osmosis water, you know, that's good too. Maybe electrolytes added. I'm fine with that. I'll take that. Right?
I don't even like to drink, like, I'm, you know, a trash heap. So I'll drink soda, you know, pop. God.
Yeah.
I used to be a real person who said pop. But every once in a while I'll drink pop. Definitely not, like, every day. But I don't even like to drink it out of a plastic bottle if I can help it. Like, I like to go out of my way to get, like, the can or, like, the glass. But it's really hard to find cans of the diet. And so I'm like, fuck. Like, I'm constantly like, I guess I'll kill the environment because my brain hates my body. Like...
it hates numbers, actually.
True! It's so true!
The one plastic bottle that I kind of enjoy, or I think it's, like, pretty much the same, is Doritos. To, like, the glass bottles. Yeah. There's, like, not a ton of difference between the two. But I think it's because it's so sugary
you
sweet
can't even tell
like...
it's like killing any fucking plastic. Like, the microplastics don't exist if you, like...
The BPAs can't survive.
Exactly. But,
That's their hand sanitizer. 99.9% of all BPA is eliminated by Doritos.
Hey, I mean, if it does it, that shit is good, but it's like, you know, it's a shock to your system when you drink it. You're like, oh, I can feel the granules of sugar in my veins right now.
It's not even granules. It's the cane sugar. You know?
I know.
I get
true.
Like, kinged up, the cocaine. Oh man, you play any more Blueprints? I've been meaning to ask you this.
have not been playing. I haven't played it since the first night.
All right.
Part of that,
Are you going to refund it?
No, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe I'll give it another try someday. Part of the problem I feel like I got so cranky about it is because I was like, oh, this will be really fun to play with Christopher. Christopher, I love you. If you're listening to this, which you don't listen to the podcast anymore because your job won't let you. But I was like, oh, this will be like a fun game for us to like puzzle out together. But then it quickly became clear that it wasn't that kind of like puzzle game that you could kind of talk through together. You just kind of had to like I went into on the last episode. And so he fell asleep in like 25 minutes after I booted the game up, and I was like just playing there, sitting there playing, and I was having a decent time for a little bit at the start, but I was like, oh, this is not like the cute fun date thing I thought it would be. So now I'm even more jaded.
Because even more. I was gonna say because I've heard like decent things about it. Like I haven't really heard
people
much
love
bad
it.
about it.
People love that game.
I don't think I've seen any bad.
No. I think it's just my personal preference, which we can't talk about fucking games this week with all the Nintendo shit. We can't do it.
That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. Did you see the new tricks of the rewind feature on the? No, that's okay. That's okay.
I mean, food, free roam Mario Kart sounds great. Mario Kart was one of the things when I would get stoned, when I was still smoking more regularly, when I was still smoking at all, really. And I was like, ooh, the psychosis. I was like, the one thing that could like get me to like calm the fuck down was playing Mario Kart because it was so familiar and just like positive and chill, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like ingrained in me. Like I can, you know, one time I thought you know how like when you get stoned and you start laughing and you're like, I'm going to choke to death because I can't breathe because I'm laughing so hard. Like,
oh, like when Sai is in a movie theater watching the Minecraft movie with us.
They would have let him go.
Just has giggled for the last 10 minutes straight.
He was giggling at the the opening credits. Like,
it's like in a lawnmower to start like. It's like stalling out, and you're like, all right, like when are we gonna let the laugh loose?
It's true. One time I got stoned on my own. I ate like an edible of some sort, and I think it was one that Buddha made. And so I got like my shit rocked because Buddha would make crazy shit. I was like, oh, I want to calm down. I don't want to like freak out and see the Hat Man. So I'm going to, play a game and like just try to like chill out and vibe. And I booted up Breath of the Wild, and which like game I love.
Interesting. Okay.
But I was like struck after booting it up and standing and like looking at the menu for probably what felt like 2 hours, but was probably like 45 seconds. And I just burst out laughing and like was having one of those laughing fits because I was like, what on God's green earth made me think I would know how to play this game stoned? Because I get stupid when I'm stoned. I get like really dumb.
Yeah.
And so I'm like sitting there like I don't remember any buttons. I don't remember like on a good day sober I can barely function in that game sometimes when it like the run and the whatever jump button or vice versa, like they're the opposite of Mario, I feel like. So it's like I have to think about it. Anyway, that game laid me out.
Any like manual input, especially with video games, anything that you have to think about, like what button am I pressing here? Like it because it takes you out of it every time.
Meanwhile,
right?
Mario Kart, I could do that shit in my sleep. Like, yeah.
So, I was like that with League of Legends. Are you keeping this whole bit in, by the way?
What do you mean? This whole of course.
I'm just asking.
We're only 10 minutes in. We're only 10 minutes in.
I was just asking. Okay, all right.
I would pass a drug test today
if
my employer is listening. Just Jesse, if you're listening, I would pass a drug test today.
Same to my employer as well. If my employer is listening, I lay it on me.
Bleep that.
So bleep that. Yeah. Just we'll leave it anonymous. But way back when, like when I first started college, I got like the most stoned. Or, well, I think maybe the second most stoned I've ever been in my entire life,
Really?
right?
Okay.
Yeah, and my roommate's brother was visiting, and like me and him were like, okay, but he was like, hey, like I'm gonna make you my friend by the end of the night. I was like, that's cool, man. Like,
It's
I
an
just got off
intense
like
thing
an
to
8-hour
say.
shift after
Yeah.
like
Maybe like in a week.
I think I had met him like earlier, like the previous night or something like that. And we had like talked a bit and we chatted and like seemed cool. We were just like, like pretty chill. And then like the next day I had school, I had work, came home. I was like, I just want to get like stupid high and just like play video games and not like focus on anything at all. So I was like, hey man, like that's cool, but like I really just kind of need some time to myself right now. I was trying to do that, and he came into my room and like pulled a chair in and like sat next to me while I was like playing games, and I was like,
this is pretty intense,
bro.
Like,
I
don't know.
he was like trying to talk to me, and I was like, buddy, I cannot do this right now. Like, I'm sorry. So we got off to a horrible foot.
Yeah.
I thought this was the same night. This might be a different night. Actually, I guess it was a different night.
Ricky's
night is
like, actually, the first most stoned I've ever been is right now in this moment on this podcast.
Bleep that, please. The first most stoned that I've ever been was when I was playing video games with my friends, and I was just going at it. This was around the same time frame, I was being a young degenerate, whatever. And
this was
I got a
lot
whole
of time
jar
ago,
of pickles.
in case it wasn't clear. Yeah.
I got a whole big lot of time ago. I brought a jar of pickles into my room, and I started eating them like one at a time. And it wasn't a small jar of pickles; it's the big jar of pickles, like as thick around as that water bottle, right? I ate like pretty much the entire jar, and I was drinking I think I actually did finish off the entire jar, and I was drinking the pickle juice at the end. And then I just got like so stoned that I couldn't keep playing, and I was like, guys, I gotta get to sleep.
All the fucking salt like sucked all the water out of your body, and then all that was left was THC raw, just like fucking coursing through your veins. Your blood was resin.
Oh no. The best part is that I tried to go to bed, right? Like I like straight up just like alt tab, didn't even alt tab for it. I alt tabbed and just shut down, and then I threw my headset off and I hopped into bed, and I woke up like maybe 2 or 3 hours later, and it was like 3:30 a.m. just puking my guts out, man. And it was like, spoilers, this might ruin a certain condiment for you. It was like relish, just straight up relish. It was like, man, great. And I was like, Caleb! I was like trying to like get up, and I was just like puking. Then Caleb got me up, and I got into the bathroom. I puked in there for a while, right in the tub. And that was that. The highest I've ever been. Just crazy.
The other night I got
anyway
maybe the drunkest I've ever been. Maybe second drunkest. It's a tie. I think the drunkest I've ever been was at my employer. Got me wasted at a piano bar. Fucking the most drunk. Yeah.
At the piano bar? Was there a piano man there?
Yes. It was a dueling pianos type beat. Yeah, they played all the songs, and I think it wasn't, I don't think it was the most I had ever drank, but I think it was the most I had ever drank and not also eaten a bunch of stuff, because when I'm traveling for work, I have a car, and like where my job headquarters is very like not walkable. Like it's not like you can go to the 7-Eleven, right? And so it was like, oh, I'm like wasted, and I had nothing to eat for like 6 hours. Normally, like right throughout the night, you've seen it. I'm like, we're going to Sheets. We're getting a snack.
Nom,
yeah, the Hot Pocket, the Midnight Hot Pocket, like it'll save you. It did not happen.
Nothing wrong with it, right?
In Texas, it did not fucking happen. And so the next day,
well, in bleep,
I'm not worried about it. They can know I work in Texas. It's fine. Everyone who listens to this podcast knows my full name and address. It is okay. Like, but so,
okay.
But so I puked straight tequila in the morning at like
Ooh,
5
nice.
a.m. and I had work the next day because I was, this was they planned this fucking like outing. This was the whole company thing at like, a Wednesday night, and Thursday there were like meetings all morning, and I was texting my boss like, I can't do it. I can't be there. I was so hungover.
I can't do it, man. I can't do it.
I couldn't stomach.
I can't do it. It's not for me.
I was just like dragging. I wasn't really nauseous anymore, but I was just like, I had such a terrible like, just feeling of like I need to lay down. Like,
yeah, because you're just disconnected from your body. Like, yeah.
And then I ate like just plain pasta noodles at the lunch at like 11 a.m. and suddenly like my day changed. Like everything changed. I was like, all I needed was to consume a carb and I would be fine. Yeah. Normally, my hangover remedy is a chicken Caesar salad, a Powerade.
Parisian choice.
Like a Powerade or something like that, and jacking off. Like those are the three things. You gotta like put them all together, and it's like
the trifecta.
Yeah, okay, it's like a cauldron. Like you fucking sprinkle a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and so all of this to say the second most drunk I think I've ever been was just like this past Saturday. Chris and I went to the club.
That's crazy.
And I was
getting turned.
Yeah, and I was like. Yeah. Maybe I'll bleep some of this. I was getting kind of mad that Chris wasn't having a good time because Chris is not a club person. So I was like, we went for this night. It was at a gay club, and so it was like good music. I was feeling it. The drinks were cheap, whatever. And he was like very anxious, and so I was like kind of angry drinking, like not angry like I'm a mad drunk, but just like. I want to get fucked up.
Just annoyed at the situation.
Yeah. So and then
it makes it easier, right? Like alcohol makes everything easier.
It does. And he was like, I started to loosen up, and then I think he also like drank enough that he was feeling less anxious, or he was just vibing off of me, and so then he was more chill, and then I was like, oh great, and so now I'm happy drinking, which is just as fast as angry drinking.
Maybe even faster. Studies have said.
Yeah, and I would swear that I drank like 8 drinks, but I don't think I did. My bar tab said I only probably had 4 or 5 max. But yeah, that the night, that dinner I had. This is gross. Trigger warning. Whatever content. What did you say?
Beep, beep. Yeah.
We had gone.
But that's the beginning of this ep. Be like, hey, trigger warning. We talk about gross shit for the first 15 minutes.
Yeah. You won't be expecting it, but no. But we had Mexican food because I love Mexican cuisine.
Mexican is tough though when you're drunk.
I didn't know, but the thing is, I'm not usually a puker. I'm not usually like a drunk puker. It's only happened like 2 or maybe 3 times in my life. I've been drunk plenty of times, but so like any of the nights that you and me and Lucy would go out to the club, I never once hurled. Never had. I was like,
oh shame. Yeah.
But so we had gone out to this restaurant. It was our first time trying it, and we sit down, and there are ants covering the table, and we're like, pause. Ugh. And so I was like, there's ants all over this table.
Did you actually say pause?
No. But so I'm like, hello?
If both of you had said pause, that would have been sick. Anyway, go on. Yeah.
And they moved us to another table that did not have ants. And it was just like, I think the patio had all the ants, whatever. But then they serve us this food, and I had gotten enchiladas, and I was like eating them, and I was like, this tastes really familiar. It was like very mid, like kind of actually below mid. I was like, this tastes really familiar. I can't place this taste. And Christopher tried the enchilada sauce, and he's like, oh, it's Campbell's tomato soup. It was like their enchilada sauce was like made of, but there was no seasoning, nothing. Like it was just like straight up like condensed And so that came up the next morning at whatever 2 a.m.
Oh yeah,
which was really awful to have like the tomato acidic. It was tough.
Yeah, at least the Campbell's is a little sweet, right? Like
at that point, it had not been sweet. It was.
I know. Yeah.
It was in with all
shit
the
ain't sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the first time I puked. The second time was just the tequila.
Oh my god, twice in the day?
Twice.
Oh,
first at like 3 a.m. after we'd gotten back, before I made it into the shower. It was like, all right, we had this like couple hour period, and then like in the morning. Oh, and this is where I was getting at. I puked again. Pure tequila. Felt fine afterward. I asked Chris, I was like, please get me a chicken Caesar salad, 2 huge Smart Waters, and like a Powerade. And he comes back, and Sheetz had not given me the dressing for the Caesar salad. So it was just chicken and lettuce. I was like,
chicken.
No. Like
and
the
croutons,
dry,
just hard
just
little
the
pieces
hardest,
of bread,
most
dry,
like solid fucking dry. I was like, this is gonna kill me. This is
like,
gonna desiccate
ready
me.
to just like jam itself into your gums. I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate getting like a little like shard of bread up
Me
there. I'm
too.
like,
Yeah. It was awful. So Sheetz really like took an L that day. I'm a big Sheetz defender.
Yeah.
Sheetz the best thing to come out of Pennsylvania, in my opinion. Like our best export, and yet, they really let me down that day.
Wawa, a little over a decade ago, you used to have my heart, but
Sheetz wins.
Greener pastures.
Sheetz clears Wawa now. I'm sorry.
Wawa just used to be a lot better.
Yeah,
so
I believe
Sheetz
that.
now has like the same level of like cold foods and like deli meats and stuff that Wawa does like currently. And it used to be that Sheetz was a little bit worse and Wawa was like significantly better like across the board. And now Wawa just doesn't have like shit. I don't know. Yeah. It kind of sucks.
Yeah. Every time I drive by a Wawa too, I feel like it's like kind of dingy. One thing about Sheetz, you do. No. I had a manager once when
it's clean.
When I worked,
it's clean in there.
When I worked at Spirit Halloween, my manager was like, every time I go into Sheetz, I feel like I'm getting ripped off. I love the guy, and he's not wrong. You do feel like you're getting ripped off in there because it's so like bleh. Like Sheetz is the bleh of the stores, but it's so clean and so like well kept. Like compared to like a Wawa or a 7-Eleven, it's like if I'm traveling, I'm finding a Sheetz if I can, compared to one of those other places.
Yeah, I would not switch out of Wawa at all now.
No.
Yeah.
Have you
ever anyway?
Have you heard of Buc-ee's?
Yeah.
This is like I only knew of Buc-ee's because of my coworkers.
That's a Texas thing, isn't it?
Yeah. That shit is crazy. That because it's like Sheetz, but
they've got car washes in there too. It's huge. It's
like a Sheetz crossed with like a Walmart.
Stopped at one once.
Yeah. I've never been in one.
Massive, yeah.
But I've gotten gas like an Uber, to and from the airport or whatever has gotten gas, and it's like, whoa, we don't need all of this. This is too like if you think Sheetz is ripping you off.
Everything is bigger in Texas.
Yeah. That's not a joke. Like you think that's a joke. That's not a fucking joke.
It's not a joke. That's why I said it though, because it's funny,
right?
I
know.
Because it literally is. Like it's huge.
It's crazy. It's crazy down there. But yeah, Buc-ee's is like they saw the Sheetz model. I'm sure Buc-ee's came first, but they saw Sheetz and they were like, "Yeah, we can do better than that."
Which came first, the Sheetz or the Buc-ee's? Anyway,
I bet it's Buc-ee's, but I actually don't know because Sheetz has probably been around. Sheetz might be one of those weird things that's been around since like the fucking 40s
and like evolved, right? Hang on. Yeah, with time.
This is We Want a Sheetz.
I'm going to tell a story of the 2 times that I got the most drunk. Both were at Christmas parties. I am generally a puker.
I have to bleep that now.
Oh, you're right.
Sheetz has been around since the 50s in Altoona.
Yeah.
I knew it was tuna, but
makes sense.
That's crazy.
Rita's. Do you like Rita's water ice? I love Rita's water ice.
I don't like water
personally.
ice.
Oh,
Water
that's crazy.
Ice.
You don't like any Italian ice at all?
Sheetz clears Buc-ee's by 30 years. Sheetz has been around 30 years longer than Buc-ee's. Fuck you, Texas.
I'm not surprised.
All right, this is We Want to Watch. Believe it or not.
I'm going to tell my story. All right, that's fine. Yeah. We'll leave the story.
Save your another drug. We've already told like 4 drug stories between the two of us. We don't need another two.
I know. I also have a story when I got nicotine sick. I have multiple nicotine sick stories,
That's
so I can hold those
crazy.
off.
Oh my god, we sound like rebels to our audience. If these people didn't know us, if every listener of this podcast didn't know who we were,
it was not on like a first name basis with at least one, if not both of us. It come as a huge shock, I'm sure.
This is We Want to Watch. That's Ricky, and my name is Lane. This is a podcast about movies that we want to watch, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This might be our first 3-hour episode. I feel like this is definitely going to be one of those episodes that goes longer than the movie. Like, for sure. Ricky's looking up something on his phone.
Sorry, I'm looking up the
name and title of the fucking movie. Oh my god!
And the director.
Ricky.
I need the director.
Okay, okay. Say the Rick's pick. It was a Rick's pick.
Okay, this week was a Rick's pick. We watched The Thief and the Cobbler in 1993, directed by Richard Williams. Okay. All right, now say what you were going to say.
I messaged you this earlier because I was like,
yeah,
Ricky, did you know that you picked the most fucking complicated movie of all time? And I wasn't going to say anything. Because when I looked this movie up, like to see kind of just like a general whatever, I like clicked on the Wikipedia page and the scroll bar was that fucking small. It was so tiny. And I was like, what the fuck?
They had the movie in like ASCII, like all the way down the page if you scroll fast enough.
It was crazy. And so I'm like, why the fuck is this movie so, like, why is the Wikipedia page so long? Like, was there
yeah, like what's going on here?
Yeah. And so then as I was like, all right, I'll dig into this. Like, I kind of like skimmed the intro and it was like, oh, this had like a crazy troubled production history. I was like, all right, well, I'll go watch the movie and then I'll like do all my reading because I love to read a Wikipedia page. I was like, I'll read it all afterward. And I went and started to watch the movie and I was like, I found a free version of the theatrical cut on YouTube. And I was like, okay, I'll watch this, like, whatever, fine, I'm not gonna pay if I can watch it for free. And I was like, damn, this is dog shit. Like, this looks like shit. Maybe I got, like, the wrong version. And so I paid, which is fine. Do that all the time. I support movies. Paid for the fucking theatrical version on YouTube. And I was like, man, this is even worse. This is, like, fucking, like,
it's worse?
Yes. And so I watched it.
Is it the quality or is it like...
It's all of it. It's like, the quality and the... It's all... So, listen, I'm not going to regurgitate the whole Wikipedia page because that's not what we do here, but I will give you the debrief because I know that you did not do any research about this.
I didn't read it. And when you... So you originally messaged me... Is this what you messaged me before? You were like, hey... Like
I asked you which version.
You're like, hey, like what the fuck or something. Before that though, you said something a couple days ago. You're like, hey, actually, I'm not going to say anything. I was like, all right, cool. Was that about this?
It was about this.
Okay, because I was going to ask you about it on the pod. Yeah. Okay.
So
and then you messaged me earlier today and gave me like the proper version to watch. I was like, oh, Lane has a story behind this. Yes. So I'll let you go. Yeah.
So because I finished the one I paid for, I was like, all right, this is like kind of crazy and incomprehensible, like not good at all. I watched that yesterday, and then I like did the reading on Wikipedia, and I was like, okay, there's like apparently a fan cut. It's called like the recobbled cut, and that's the one that I sent to you, and I watched that as well. Yes. And that one is like the compilation of like closer to a director's cut, basically. So, the story of this is that this fucking movie had been in production since the early 60s, and, was in production for 30 years, and basically Richard Williams, the director and writer, had been, like, through several iterations of, like, this is what this movie's about, and here's the story, and, like, just, like, countless changes over that time, and, like, never had good funding, like, never had good, steady backing. You know, he was funded by, like, the family of somebody who wrote the like book it was originally based on, but then they pulled out because there was some weird embezzlement shit going on, and so then he reworked the whole story, and so it wasn't about. He always had the idea of like, I want like a Middle Eastern, like Arabian Nights epic, right? And so
and you can kind of tell that's like what he's leaning.
That's what he's going
right?
for. Yeah,
like it's making a lot of homages, right?
But so. Yeah, like over the course of like this kind of late 70s to 80s, they were just like, they couldn't make money. They were like, they would have to like make, the production house basically would have to make commercials and then use that money to come back and like do that.
Oh, wow.
So
Jesus,
that's how this guy ended up on.
So this is like the ultimate passion project.
Yeah. So that's how he ended up in Roger Rabbit. Was he like had screened a cut?
Oh, just to fund it. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, he like showed footage from this movie to Spielberg and Zemeckis and I think another person who, were involved with Roger Rabbit, and they were like, "This is our guy," and so he was like, "Yeah, I'll do this. It's a living," And so he goes and fucking
yeah.
like is the animation director for Roger Rabbit and like pioneered the
which is legendary.
Yeah. Listen to our past episode. And so
yeah,
he like pioneered a bunch of the like live action blended with animation techniques that were used in that movie, and like then took that funding,
which we commented on, were like
amazing.
Crazy good.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that was like one of our big things. We were like, and like no movie has really just nailed it like this one has since. Crazy. Anyway, yeah.
But so that movie comes out, and then it still takes him like 2 or 3 years. He shops it to Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers is like, all right, we'll fund your movie, but if you don't finish it by this day and in this budget, we take it over. And lo and behold, this guy who had been fucking doing this for like 25 years at this point did not come in under budget and did not come in at time. And so they took his movie and basically had someone come in and do a hack job to finish it. And like, the version I watched first is as many terrible things in Hollywood, are the result of fucking Harvey Weinstein got his little fucking grubby ogre hands on it. And they shit out this like terrible version that's like very much aping Aladdin. Now, this movie had been in production for 30 years. I know you and I both saw the similarities to Aladdin in this movie, but Aladdin had a lot of the same animators, I guess, that came from this production house in the 70s and 80s that then went to Disney and took all of so like Aladdin's basically, ripping off things wholesale. So they like shit out this crappy version.
So crazy.
The director disowned it. The crappy version is terrible. It's like unwatchable. There's some of the same animation and stuff. I know I'm like ranting, but we'll get to the actual movie discussion.
No, you're good. Yeah.
But so, and I didn't even care that much. Like, I just, as I was reading it, I also watched...
I wasn't even that attached, to be honest with you.
I wasn't.
I just wanted to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah. I love a rabbit hole. And so, the one, like, the shitty version, the theatrical version, has, like, songs in it, like, kind of, like, bad Disney-type, songs, and, like, there's narration by Matthew Broderick, and, like, a bunch of the celebrities that we talked about when you picked this movie last are, like, not in this movie. So anyway, it's just, the narration is like very like kids kind of shit, like, oh, that's gotta hurt, like type, whatever.
Oh, yes. They're all like quippy.
It's quippy Disney shit. Anyway, so it's like unwatchable. The animation looks like dog shit. But then, so I read the Wikipedia article. I watched a documentary about the making of this movie, and then I rewatched the
recobbled.
Yeah, I watched the recobbled version today, and that took me like 15 minutes to fucking say everything.
That's fine.
How did you find
What'd
this?
You think
How did you? No. I don't even
version?
want to talk about our opinions yet. We have to get to the bottom of this mystery. How did you find this? You were like, oh, I saw some animation that looked cool. What? Where'd you get this?
The specific animation that I saw was the
it had
the
to be
scene
the chase.
where
it had to be the checkerboard chase.
It is the chase.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yes. when the thief steals the shoe in the beginning, and the cobbler chases after him.
Did you see it on like Instagram or TikTok, Twitter?
Yeah, it was on Twitter. Yeah.
That's
crazy. I think it was reposted by one of the artists that worked on SpongeBob.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny how, like, animation... I feel like with movies, at least I see a lot of, like, directors and writers and, like, movie critics talking about the craft a lot. And you see it with actors as well, like, interviews with, like, Criterion Closet. You hear them talking about the craft, but I feel like I don't see it as much with animation, but it is, like, a small industry, Maybe you see it more.
I was gonna say, I think that's selection bias, because, like, I don't really see a lot of, like, stuff about movies or, like, follow, like, people behind the movies. So, I do hear stuff about it occasionally, but it'll just be like, oh, hey, the background actors in John Wick, they have to do XYZ, it's so crazy. And I'm like, okay, right. But, like, I know you mean more craft as in, like,
no,
they're setting up their scenes and stuff like that.
No,
I think they both apply, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, anybody's, like, contribution to the art, right? With animation, it's... so generally a lot of it is because, like, the really good sources of animation are so few and far between, right?
Sure.
And there's not a ton of like great Western animation outside of like France, I guess. So it is kind of tough. Like there's not like a really good like American like animation studio. So like, but I mean, Studio Ghibli, right? Like that's like kind of the top of the line. If you ever heard of like MAPPA or I mean, Toei Animation is
I've heard of
can pull
Toei
through at times too.
Yeah.
Toei's huge, yeah. And then there's Madhouse is another like big one. Yeah, I don't know. I think some people, I don't know what it means, but people refer to like really nice animation as like, or I see like Sakuga or something like that. And it'll be on like animation compilations and stuff, and they're always like just like super satisfying animations. I don't know if that's the name of an animator or like a style or something.
Yeah, sure, right.
But yeah, I feel like, I mean, especially in like the new gens, like whenever a new show comes out and they pioneer some like style of animation. Like recently there was a stereoscopic effect in like a just like seasonal anime, and people were freaking out over it, right? Because they're like, I've never seen anything like this before, like in animation.
Sure.
And it is really cool. I mean, when Pixar used split focal lenses in like some of their scenes in Toy Story,
yeah.
I mean, I watched a video behind that. I feel like people talk about that too, and it's like, I feel like Pixar is probably like I guess Pixar is the Western animation
one.
studio,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Now that I think about it,
Even
yeah.
though they're,
I sort of discounted them because it's like children's animation, like
and
fully
it's
focused, right?
It's
for the most part.
computer animation too, which I feel like is. I mean, now, obviously, like they're all computer involved basically at this point, but I feel like you don't think about it the same way. But Pixar is interesting because their like recent shit has not been. It doesn't. And part of it, it's like, is it that they were just the first ones to like kind of do a lot of that stuff, or is it that like not that stuff, but like to have big commercial, like kind of epic movies in that way, similar to how Disney, like traditional animation was in the early 90s. Like they were the ones who like cracked the code and found like a very specific commercial, appeal where, but like recently Pixar has not been able to crack that. Like basically since Frozen and then I'd say Moana, I feel like are the only two that have like, and I guess, Coco kind of, sort of though.
I liked Coco.
I like all of these too. Like I like Luca.
I don't think Coco had the same like staying power or like cultural force or impact.
But it had the song. Yeah. It had the "We Don't Talk About Bruno." That song was huge.
Yeah, we don't talk about my friend's dog is named Bruno, and so like whenever he talks about it, I'm like, we don't talk about Bruno. No. Yeah.
But so it's funny though because the animation looks as good as it ever has. Moana looks fucking crazy. Like that shit looks great.
Yeah, I mean they made Moana too, right? I think a lot of it is just that like there hasn't been like a new idea behind it. I mean, same thing with like the new Lilo and Stitch live action, like
that shit looks great.
Which is all like computer generated live action. I mean,
I gotta be honest.
Visually looks good. Yeah. That's fine. I mean, if that's your thing, I think it visually looks good.
That's your thing, he says.
Speaking to the craft, right? I like. I don't know. I like the emotion that they put into like the animation in the original, right?
Sure. Yeah. I don't think that doing. I mean, to be clear, I am not like a supporter of the live action Disney remake thing, but
I think the live action Lion King was like probably like the worst movie I've watched. Maybe, I don't know. Just in terms of like, why am I here? Why am I watching this?
Not Airbender. Clip that. Somebody clip that. The worst movie I've ever watched.
It's going to be you. You're the one who clips this. Why do you say somebody? It's you.
In years from now, when we have a fan base that's more than the people who are our friends,
they'll be like inconsistent claims, and it'll be like inconsistent claim 1,236. Ricky claims that he hates the Airbender the most, but in this episode of We Want to Watch, he also claims that
in the We Want to Watch wiki. Wait, the We Want to Watch wiki? I guess that kind of goes crazy.
Yeah. Quadruple W. Yeah. Quad dub. So I think what it is I also paid for the Lion King one. I didn't pay to go see Avatar. I was forced to go see it. So it was like,
It'll be a compilation.
Worst movie I've paid to go see, I'll say.
It'll be a fan-made compilation of all the times I said, clip that. Chat, clip that. Like, on the pod. Just the most unhinged things. No, but so, this movie, yeah, like, I mean, I feel like I've heard of it or knew of its reputation, but didn't recognize it when we talked about it, because I feel like I've heard or maybe read before, like, this is the longest in production movie ever made. That ever came to completion. Yeah.
Let's go. Hell yeah.
What did you think of the one we watched, which was the recobbled, kind of like similar to the director's cut version?
And that was the only one that I watched.
Right. Rightfully so.
I loved it.
Yeah, I know you did.
And before... Okay. So, before you say anything, I want to say, when I was growing up, I mean, I didn't watch a lot of movies at all.
You're still
Some of the movies that I did get to watch were... True. Some of the movies that I did get to watch when I was even littler than I am now were... So my mom was, like, a nurse, and she worked in, like, people's homes, and one of the people that she worked for, one of the families that she worked for, their dad worked in, like, the movie industry or something, so he would, like, give her, like CD-ROMs or whatever, or DVDs, whatever, with, like, pre-release versions of movies, and that's how I watched a lot of movies growing up. I remember, like, Deadpool I watched like that, and they wouldn't have a lot of the CGI done yet.
You watched
so it'd
Deadpool?
still be like the 3D models and stuff.
The Ryan Reynolds Deadpool?
No.
I didn't even know
the one before that.
I
think it was like Wolverine, X-Men Wolverine Origins.
Sure.
That's one of the ones that like still clearly stands out to me because like just I don't know, seeing it was really cool to me to see behind the scenes like what was real and what was fake.
Yeah.
And like there are some like scenes where like the actor themselves is like moving, like you can see that they're on like a platform or whatever and like moving and like falling. And then like you get to see like what was green screened in around them, and that's like I don't know, super fun.
Okay.
So like watching this and being able to see like the animation like rough drafts behind it, so cool, man. That was awesome. Yeah.
So yes, so this cut that we watched is obviously like cobbled together from like the actual animation, the finished animation, and then storyboards and like half uncolored cells and things like that. So I was worried that you were gonna message me like, Lane, what the fuck, why aren't we watching the real movie? You saying that reminded me of something that I read on here, just what you just said about like getting bootleg DVDs of like stuff.
Yeah.
Which is that this movie was released, and I don't know for sure if I could just be inserting myself into history, but this movie was released in cereal boxes, like as like you get a DVD with this box of Fruit Loops, and I remember those I remember getting those all the time. I was just looking it up to see if I could find the DVD.
Wow, to see if like the dates would like line up.
Yeah, because it would have been
That'd
the right
time.
Like it was 97, so I would have been like a couple years old, at that point, or 98. And I'm looking at I just searched like serial DVDs and stuff. I don't know if you ever had that or like CD-ROM games out of like tricks or something.
Maybe. I couldn't eat sugary cereals as a child either. I couldn't eat like much sugar at all. So yeah,
sucks. But I definitely remember some of these that I'm looking at, like Scooby-Doo and whatever. I remember the CD-ROMs of
like the cyber ones.
Yeah. Or like these games, these like computer games. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but like Sorry and like Scrabble and shit. Yeah, like I definitely had those. So I don't know. I feel like I remember seeing. I feel like I remember seeing this movie's name, but again, I could just be like.
This feels like a cereal box movie, though.
It totally does.
The version that you described, I guess, like maybe not the shitty version, but like, just like the. I don't know. It'd be funny if they shipped out a version with the like background production. Like pre-animation stills and whatnot.
Yeah.
I don't know, in cereal boxes. They should do this stuff more, more people should just like spend 30 years trying to make a movie and then like have to have it owned by a horrible soulless corporation, huh?
I found the animation very compelling. I won't pretend that that's not true. Like, the finished stuff that's shown, and even some of the unfinished stuff that's, like, alluded to or kind of half depicted, is really cool looking. This movie is still fucking incomprehensible. Like,
you think so?
Yes.
Wait, let's talk more about how good the animation looks first, and then we can get to like.
Rick is like, don't burst my
what do you
bubble.
mean by
please.
incomprehensible? Like just like the storyline.
Story.
Well,
yeah.
let's talk about how good the animation
I'm not
looks
here to
first.
burst your bubble. I am not. I'm just like
No,
I
know.
Okay, because my journey was truly like a fucking sine wave or something. Like, I was like,
yeah. Oh,
okay,
yeah.
This has like a crazy good reputation. Oh wait, this is like the shittiest movie I've ever seen. Oh, maybe I should buy the theatrical version. Nope. Okay, it's worse. Wait. Okay, this Wikipedia page is telling me this is the best movie ever made. Okay, I see it. Like, it was crazy.
So yeah, I don't know. Let's talk about the animation, then we can talk about like the movie itself, right?
45 minutes in, let's maybe talk about the movie.
since I like just finished it right an hour ago, and we're 45 minutes in, I want to talk about the very last scene, the Rube Goldberg ass shit that goes on for like just like 15-20 minutes.
Yeah,
peak, man.
It's good.
Peak shit. That's good. Yeah,
it's one of the few sequences that they kept in the shitty theatrical cut. Because they were like,
nice.
we can't get rid of this. Like, this is the thing.
Yeah, they're like, we literally just can't get rid of this shit. It's also super cool to see like what was cut, especially like the Grand Vizier, what's his face? Zigzag.
Yeah.
Him getting like chomped at the end, and like it's so funny because like you can see it's like right about to chomp, and then it goes to like the drawn version and for the chomp, which is nice. That's like fun. It's a cute detail to me.
Yeah.
I guess not like a cute detail, but it's like.
It's fun, yeah.
It's funny that was like cut later, and like I don't know. Yeah.
Well, and it's not so much that it was cut; it's just that they
just like didn't finish
it. Because there's a lot of animation in this that, you know, like, it's not just like, right, they cut out certain scenes and then put new scenes in. They like chopped and screwed the editing. So like like the other, even the theatrical version is radically different in plot, and so they would like when the Cobbler, for example, is like imprisoned, like he's in like the fucking oubliette. He breaks out very fast in the theatrical cut. Like, he's only in there and out in maybe 5. The theatrical cut is also like 25 minutes shorter than the one we watched, but
I mean, kind of understandably, right?
Yeah. But you know, so they would move things around. The pacing is very different. Like, things kind of start and stop. So yeah, it's kind of funny that it's like, not only did they cut things, but they also just like rejiggered a whole bunch of stuff to, you know, put it in different order, and like they decided this scene looked better over here, intercut with this scene. It's really a testament to like corporate malfeasance or like meddling in the artistic process.
How many meetings do you think this like resulted in this product? Right,
a lot.
I don't know. So I would honestly say that, like, at least for me, there were a couple of scenes that like went on a little bit maybe too long.
Agreed. It's so indulgent. It's so indulgent.
Yes. Yeah. There were a couple of things that I kind of would have preferred they focus on something different. Specifically, I'm thinking about the horse race, or like the horse game thing that they do in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful animation for the beginning when they're first like lining up, and then like, you know, like
the little
they look like fluffy little like cloud horses, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like right before that too, when like they're first lining up, and then like Vizier's like, okay, now let's play.
Vizier.
And like when they're like first playing, what?
Vizier.
Yeah. Vizier. Have I not been saying Vizier? Vizier. I've been saying Vizier. Vizier.
I'll cut that.
So, okay, when they're running around in like circles almost, right? That's super cool. I love how that looks, right? And then they have like the really cool sort of dynamic chase scene with the thief. I think that's great once.
Yeah, but
and then it cuts to
on and on.
Right. Well, like the Vizier like goes and like talks to the
king.
The Sultan or whatever, the king, and then it cuts back to the thief for like 2.5 more minutes or something.
Yeah,
where I was like, ooh, I was done with this sequence, man. And like it's the same music, just like kind of on a loop, and I was like, man, like it's not really adding anything.
You can definitely tell that, like, And so so apparently you had to have watched 3 fucking movies to really understand this movie, the way I did. But,
Yeah.
From what I understood from the documentary, they talked about how he never storyboarded. So, like, you know what storyboarding is, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Just making sure, man. And so
Yes,
he didn't do that ever until the end. Basically, Warner Brothers was like, "All right, last chance."
Like, you
And
need to give us something. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh shit," and he storyboarded a bunch of stuff.
This
out.
is my vision.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
But
that's crazy, especially in animation.
Right? That's like how you go over
so
budget.
nuts.
And so people would describe how he would, Richard Williams, who seemed to have been a very chill and normal guy with no problems at all. He was like,
good old Ricky Willie.
they called him Dick in the movie. Where he
nice.
would, he'd see a sequence like, that had like 30 seconds of animation, and then he'd be like, "Oh, keep going," and then he would recut the story so that the story would focus more on this piece or that piece, and did that for 3 decades basically. And so I think that's part of why it's so incomprehensible, is because he didn't know what he was doing. He rewrote the script over and over to accommodate basically like, what's the most beautiful animation I could do, which like would be fine if it was not trying to be a commercial film with a story. Like if this were just like an artsy kind of like what is the name of the movie we watched? Hourglass Sanatorium type thing that didn't have as much of a story, or like Playtime. I was reminded of Playtime quite a few. A few moments.
If there was like more crowd interaction or like background like synchronization, I'd definitely say Playtime 100%. Like they do some of that, but it's not like you don't really see like the people of like the town, right? Like,
sure. Yeah.
Which is fine, but
the thing that reminded me of Playtime with it was some of just like the slapstick and kind of like perspective stuff, especially like the checker scene, which you called out earlier.
Yes,
that looked crazy. That looks awesome. That's so cool looking.
Oh, it's amazing.
And in the theatrical version,
the way that they blend between the different like animation styles and like how they're following, how dynamic each scene is, and as well as like doing different like visual teasers. I don't know. What is that?
Gags? Or like, what are you trying to say?
No, like it's like forced perspective, or like the like invisible like meaning paintings. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like an optical illusion. The way that they work with optical illusions and to like I got there to create depth and to also like make you believe there would be depth where there's not. And
cool.
Like they do that like with the shadows and and like the different patterns and everything. And it's super interesting and unique for sure, right? Like it feels very storybook-esque,
Yes.
Like
for sure.
It's so and it's such a pretty movie too. Like it's gorgeous just to look at,
Yeah. It is very beautiful, but it's a shame that there's a story attempted. Like if this had been like if this had been and because like part of what you're saying, right, or like what you had mentioned about like these sequences that go on too long, especially with the thief, it's a very unusual kind of structure to a story to have there be two characters, okay, one of whom doesn't talk, fine. Like a silent protagonist is not totally unheard of, but like, still kind of unusual. But then to have like another kind of protagonist-ish character, or like, like anti-hero type, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
That also doesn't talk, but that we spend this extended time on, and that doesn't really influence the plot all that much. Like it's basically just like hijinks for.
Oh.
I mean, I was
going to say that these two were the only plot drivers.
Well, the vizier. And the princess.
Well, yeah, but okay, yes, but the vizier is
because like except for those other 4 characters who were.
Well, no, but the vizier is the villain of the story, right?
Sure.
And the princess does help drive the story along too.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying the thief especially, I feel like, I mean, he does some, like, he kind of causes events to happen, but he's not, it's not like he has an arc, right? I mean, I guess he has an arc, but
right.
Yet he returns the balls at the end. Which, the balls. They fucking say balls so much in this fucking movie. The 3 gold balls. My balls.
Atop the, is it
the
minarets?
No,
not,
the minarets.
Minarets, yeah.
Yeah. Which,
The thief, at least in my eyes, I was like, oh, he's just in it for the love of the game. As soon as he stole like the ruby eyes, I was like, this dude don't give a fuck. He's got no loyalty. He doesn't give a fuck about nobody. He's doing it for the love of the game.
He's Scrat from Ice Age.
Yeah, like, he is Scrat. He is Scrat from Ice Age. Yeah. Yeah. He's just trying to get the nut, right?
It's just
which is like, I don't know. It's a very interesting character, to like focus on and to have so much of your movie devoted to.
And that's what I mean.
It's super funny to me that like our two protagonists only interact the one time. It's the most gorgeous scene in the entire movie.
The beginning and end.
Well, twice, I guess the end as well.
Yes.
But the beginning one is like the one where it's like,
oh no, actually, yeah,
they sort of establish themselves as like they're like not really, I don't know, not really like co-patriots or anything.
No, they're enemies.
They're just like,
they're fighting.
They're not even enemies, really. Well, like they're just
they're butting heads.
They're just sort of like for a second they butt heads and then like, oops, that's it. They sort of go their own ways. And then he sees them again at the end, and it's like, all right, cool. I don't know. In my eyes though, like the thief was very like chaotic neutral. Like I am just like I'm stealing that. Like I'm just going to go steal that big shiny thing. I'm stealing it.
I'm not saying the thief is not interesting to watch. It's just like you mentioned, his segments go on so long, and they really grind the movie to a halt. Whereas if this movie was like small segments, because obviously, right, like this was the work of someone who was so obsessed with beautiful animation, like beautiful movement, doing compelling things with perspective. Like if that had been the focus, these like set pieces and like vignette style, as opposed to trying to create a big epic story out of it, then you could really let those thief segments breathe on their own. They're not halting things. They don't feel so stop and starty. And it's not this like weird story structure that leaves you, you know, feeling very fucking confused like I was. Like, not I mean, I followed the plot.
I liked the story.
It's just
I liked
weird
that it was so non-linear, right? I enjoyed that. I did think that the introduction of the one eye was a little ham-fisted, but outside of that...
we should... Okay. How do you feel about Aladdin? The movie Aladdin.
I like Aladdin.
When's the last time you watched Aladdin?
Probably when I was like 12, 13 maybe.
Okay.
Maybe 14.
Everyone remembers...
Over a decade.
Everyone remembers Robin Williams, right? Everyone remembers the genie and like the fucking big I Love You song. What is it? A Whole New World. That movie's crazy racist. You don't...
Is it?
Yeah. I watched that movie again, I don't know, like 3 or 4 years ago. For the first time in probably like 10 years, like, you know. And I was like, oh, this is tough. Like, this is... Even some of the Robin Williams stuff is pretty racist. Like, obviously, like, Jasmine being, like, the sexualized whatever, like, fine. Yeah. But then, like, there are some, like, pretty egregious stereotypes of, like, you know, like, Middle Eastern people and, like, Muslim, you know. So, like, you don't remember all that because you're so focused... Bleh! Like, it's, you know, the most bleh character in all of movies is the genie.
Yeah.
Which is...
It's also Robin Williams, right?
Right, like... right. And we love him, right? But you forget all that other stuff kind of fades. And so this movie has all of those problems of, like, stereotypical depictions of, you know, whatever. Like, they mentioned Gaza in this movie, which is... I was, like, shocked. I was like, what the fuck? But, like, all of this... But none of the charm of, like, Robin Williams to distract. So there's, like, full-on, like, minstrel, like, black face or, like, depictions of black people. There's, like, or African people, I guess, that are quite egregious and, you know, chopping off someone's hands because they're a thief. Like, ooh, ew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't notice the minstrel stuff, I'll be honest with you.
It was, it was slight. It was somewhat slight. It was... Okay. I think there was like 2 scenes where there were like guard characters maybe like in the palace that were... Was it the singing guards? No, not those. No. A different flavor of racism, but no, they're like the... What is that racist? I feel like the unwashed barbarian kind of thing. I feel, I mean, it's a little uncomfortable.
Wait, what? Whoa, the singing guards?
Wait, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about where the king calls for zigzag, and then like all the guards like pass the message to each other, and they're like zigzag, 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 and they like sing it.
No. I'm confusing my 2 cuts of the movie. So the the princess's guards, the ones they come across in the desert.
Oh, yes, yeah. Okay, I know what he was going for there. I can respect what he was going for.
Okay. Listen, in the theatrical cut, they put like 3 or 4 songs in, and one of the songs is literally those guards. They find them in the desert, and it's like they're like, it's like the fun song in the movie, and they're like, the lyrics are like, Future Lane, I'm sorry, but cut in the chorus of this song. But then...
Sent here 20 years ago by the king to guard his borders. We don't know when to return, because no one here can read his orders. We're what happens when you don't finish school. We're what happens when you don't finish school.
And it's like so
interesting.
Yeah, but like it feels like a moral. It's so out of place, like for them to be like, and go to school, kids. Like it's so weird. And anyway. But it doesn't help with the stereotype of it all. Anyway, it's just an uncomfortable.
I didn't get that much in the recoupled version.
It's not as bad.
I mean,
yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, it's like, what is it, the Cave of 100 Thieves or whatever. I was like, okay, like it's them, and like they haven't been able to rob anyone in a while. I was like, okay, like, sure. Like I was like, okay, this guy's just riffing whatever he can off of
like Arabian Nights.
What is it?
Yeah,
Arabian Nights. Yeah, and like I was like, that's cool, like that's fine, and I'm fine with him sort of rehashing it, because they even call one of them like Solomon or something. I don't know. They called him someone, or Alibaba maybe, but they referred to him, and I was like, oh, okay, like he was one of like the thieves, I think.
I'm sorry, I've consumed.
Like, okay, that's kind of funny.
I have consumed so much Thief and the Cobbler content in the last 24 hours. I'm sorry, it's all blending together.
No,
me.
You're fine. I
should have spaced it out more.
Yeah. I feel like if you watched this movie maybe a little bit more removed from the other versions, you might might have liked it a little bit more. Yeah, I don't know.
No, I liked it. I don't think I would have liked it I feel like if anything, I like it more because I know the context. Like I find it more of like a curious object. Something to, watching the documentary, the focus or like the mystique around this movie. I'm going to get woke here. The mystique is like, this creator who had this drive, and like, what would he have been able to make if they hadn't taken this movie away from him, if he had managed to finish it, whatever. And like,
it would have been about the same.
yeah. Like clearly this guy didn't really know what the fuck to go, like when to finish it. Like he, if he could have, he would have done that. He would have had a better, more comprehensive story. And so it just like this idea of like this animation genius, which to be clear, he had some really cool animation, but like to say that if only Harvey Weinstein hadn't stolen it from him, or what, then
right. Or whatever, yada yada, media corruption, yada yada.
Sure.
So what about the story in particular though? Did you like really not enjoy?
I think it was just the pacing, right? Is one of those things.
Yeah, I think the pacing suffers a lot. Yeah, that's fair.
And I do think that there's just a lot of like, it feels very vignette-y, but trying to not be. And so you have you have this kind of like stop and starts, almost like a novel structure.
Yeah, I think because it was made in vignettes.
Yeah,
right?
Of course. Yeah. I'm not like, I understand why the movie is the way it is.
Yeah, no, I know.
Better than anyone at this moment in time.
If this movie dropped as like 5 or 6 Netflix episodes, 20 minutes a pop, I feel like it'd go crazy. People would be like, "This is crazy good."
Yeah, totally.
Like, what's the Grand Vizier gonna do next? Oh my god, I can't wait for next week. If this were like 10, he stole the gold balls from the thief.
10 to 20 minute shorts or like a series like this, I feel like it could be really impressive. But it stands, there's a lot of like the witch scene, which I know is unfinished. But like,
and they promise to pay her, and they just don't, like, there's no sacrifice, it's no payment or anything, and then it like brings the mountain down after them. Or the polo scene, like you're describing, like that's just kind of, it feels like filler in a way, so. And that's filler. Yeah, it just went on like
generously.
2 or 3 minutes longer than it had to. I mean, the witch scene, I get like the recruitment you
Yeah.
need to go and like they're like finding their champion. I do like the like approaching a mystic or approaching a shaman. I
Sure.
love that a lot in just
It's
like
just
I don't know.
it just
media.
feels a little bit like, all right, now go here. All right, now go do this. Okay,
Right,
this is gonna
right.
happen.
It was
You know,
it
it's
was
not
very cobbled. It would have been nice if I mean, at least for me personally, if we had like maybe set the stakes a bit earlier, right? If we had like known about One Eye and we
Which-
had known about like the secluded witch, yada
It's
yada.
very interesting because that's what the theatrical version does. Is it opens with the
Yeah.
prophecy and then they talk about the one eyes, which like I was
Okay,
sitting
yeah.
there and I'm still doing. I'm like,
Mhm.
one eye sounds like something racist. Like, is this a racist?
Oh,
I'm like sitting there
Is
like,
it?
is it? I don't know. I'm asking you. I'm still racking my brain.
I don't know. If it is, let us know, watchers. If it is,
Yeah, get
sorry.
us in the comments. Clip that.
Maybe this episode gets taken down. Sorry, I don't know. We'll put something else up in its place. What I think would have done like perfectly is right after they do like the intro sequence, they do a like, but not all is right in the kingdom, and it just does like a flyover, and like you get to see like One Eye like attacking a village or something.
That's what
you
the
see,
that's
like,
what the
like the
well.
witch
It
giving
sounds
the
like you want to
prophecy.
go
Yeah,
suck
that's-
Harvey Weinstein's dick, is what I'm hearing. Actually, that you're like,
Hey, if it'll get me a job in Hollywood,
not anymore. Oh, I'm cutting that. Yikes!
Yeah.
Woof. Ricky hates women. Confirmed.
Oh,
my
but
God.
he had guys on his. No, anyway.
He did
probably
not
did,
actually.
anyway.
I don't think.
Really?
No,
Hmm.
he notoriously.
Well, then it
has
is in
quite a
bad
few-
taste. Never mind. Then get it out of there. Sorry about that.
That's
I
okay.
apologize to all women for that, and for my existence in general. Honestly,
It's
can we do a land acknowledgement at the beginning of this episode? But it's me acknowledging how sorry I am to women.
a gender acknowledgement. Oh my God.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Go on.
Why is this the most unhinged we've been in a long time? It feels.
I asked if I could be unhinged this ep. All right,
That's
you said
true.
yeah.
You
Go
literally
ahead.
did.
He gave me the reins. And you
I
knew I was
just-
watching the movie right before it. I'm always fucking yoinked up if I watch a movie right before we pod.
Yoinked up. I think this movie is similar to many others where it's like the misunderstood genius with the big swings. Like, I like a big swing movie. I know that that's like a thing people really go crazy for, you know, with like Christopher Nolan and, you know, what's his nuts, Francis Ford Coppola and like whatever. And it's like, I get it. I applaud that. But I also think when we're doing that, how much are we just like kind of lauding and rewarding these like very narcissistic or whatever, I don't know, men, just like insert shitty, you know, like they described Richard Williams. One of the people interviewed in this documentary was like, yeah, he wouldn't give me time off when my wife had meningitis, so I had to go visit my wife in the hospital on my lunch hour. Like, and like that he would just like walk people to the door. He apparently, who knows? This was just one person in this interview. He apparently thought when people would misspell the word thief, because like, right, that's an easy word for people to misspell. They put the E before the I.
Common one.
That they were saying they were like slighting him, not just like that they didn't have respect to spell it right, but that they were intentionally spelling it so that the word if was in there, as if to say,
Like,
if this ever
it'll
gets
ever
made.
get finished.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you have to be like
So-
really high on your own supply to be thinking like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, he obviously, like, had an ego, right?
Yeah. Derogatory.
Derogatory. I forget what I was going to say about that.
Coppola, Nolan. Figured you wouldn't let me get away with. No? Okay.
No, you can get away with that. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of that does just come down to, like, guy wasn't a storyboarder. I get what he was going for in a lot of places, right?
Sure.
And I'm not saying that he was, like, a good person at all. What were you talking about right before calling him, like, a shitty person?
I mentioned.
Right after I did the gender
I
acknowledgement.
don't think I don't know that he was a shitty person. I just think he, like, the idea of.
He could be sort of.
Yeah. Well, the idea of, like,
oh,
mythologizing.
sorry. Yes. It's definitely, like, a chosen one trope, right?
Yeah.
I get that. I kind of like that it was like a meek will inherit the earth type thing, because it's
this movie.
It's the two meekest. Yeah,
I see.
It's the two meekest of the like world, right? That they're like born into. The thief who has to rely on everyone else, and the very poor cobbler who even gets stolen from by the thief, right? And then like it's the thief's own avarice, which like leads to the whole thing like falling apart. And then also which saves the day. As well as the cobbler's just dumb luck, right? I thought I didn't think it was like a chosen one or like he's a secret genius or anything like that. I thought it was just
he's totally.
I thought it was just that he's like it was just dumb luck. He's a chosen one, but like he's not like a secret genius. Sorry, I meant like not a secret genius, not like
I guess
hidden talents or anything.
But they described that his simple, like bravery and tools, the what the witch says is like do what you can with what you have. So it's like he's scrappy, he's not like a genius, but he knows he's salt of the earth, so he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I think the princess says that too. She's like, oh, he can do it. He's resourceful. He's scrappy. Sure. Yeah.
Which like fine. I have no qualms with the story from that perspective. Although I do have who does the cobbler look like? I couldn't fucking place it. The cobbler looks like every Tim Burton,
like Jack Skellington.
Yeah, that's a good one. But I feel like they're like the hat specifically gives something, and I can't place who. But it's very Tim Burton for sure.
Like I can't think of it.
I feel like there's like a Nickelodeon character or something.
I was gonna say. It's like Maggie and like the Pink Hippo or something like that.
Oh, I don't know.
It was like a kid show. It was from when we were kids. She had like a little bucket hat on like that.
I'm Googling. Maggie and the Pink Hippo. This is gonna be like 0 results. Google AI overview is gonna be like, that doesn't exist, and you're a fucking idiot for even searching it.
I found Maggie and the Ferocious Beast, which is not what I was thinking of.
That's a good show.
It's also kind of similar. I think it's because it was from like the exact same time.
What you were thinking of, yeah.
There was one that had just like slightly different animation. It's not Maisie. But yeah, there was like one from this time that like maybe it was that one. Maybe it was a book that like looked like that too.
Oswald? I'm just scrolling through, like... I feel like... What's the Jenny the Teenage Robot? My Life as a Teenage Robot? I feel like something from that era or animation studio is reminding me of that. Or I'm reminded of that. There's so many kid shows, it's so crazy. What the fuck is Rupert?
Rupert? I don't know. I've seen his drop.
Man, the Backyardigans is so good. I'm gonna watch the Backyardigans.
True. They had crazy bangers.
I still say, not funny, haha. Funny weird, which I'm pretty sure
funny weird.
Which is so funny because I think that's from that they're like kind of riffing on Sling Blade with that. I've never really looked into it to confirm because I don't want to know if the Backyardigans is making a homophobic joke intentionally, but
what is Sling Blade? Yeah.
Oh, it's our next Planes Frame.
Oh,
the
cool.
fact that you haven't seen Sling Blade is so crazy. Sling Blade is alright, Tropic Thunder? You know the joke in Tropic Thunder, like you never go full Arsler?
Yeah.
I might cut this. That's Billy Bob Thornton doing his not quite going full Arsler movie. And he's like and I'm not saying that to be like what like just in the 90s you did that. Like if you were a prestigious male actor, like you were like Forrest Gump, I'm in there. DiCaprio and What's Eating Gilbert Grape, I'm in there. Like
I'm in there.
And Billy Bob Thornton did it with Sling Blade. Anyway. We are not watching Sling Blade for this podcast.
That's pretty fair. I'd be really surprised if you had actually picked that one.
It's fine as far as movies go. Okay, anyway, I have like a shitload of notes about this movie still. That's so crazy.
Okay, let's go through them.
$1:13 in. But no, the main design is like off-putting. I don't like it. I find it to be, and I do like the tax as the
main
mouth
design. Oh, okay,
of
yes,
the
okay,
Cobbler. The tax as the mouth
like
is kind
it.
of cute. That's cute.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
you like it because you fucking identify with this pale fucker. You kidding me?
Yeah, he's a chosen one, just like me, Lane.
And he's 6.5
Surely
feet
this
tall,
won't stroke
just like
my
you.
ego. Yeah? He what?
5'6" or 6'5"? Who knows? Bleep that. No.
Short king. Anyway.
But yeah, I don't know, and I imagine that it's just an influential design, like this type of, because he's so pale, which is a weird choice.
He's so pale, yeah.
Middle Eastern, whatever. But fuck off.
He gets a lot dark. He gets a lot darker at the end.
At the very end, when he whips out his voice. His Sean Connery voice where he's like, I love you too.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's a lot.
What a great artistic choice.
You know what else is a good artistic choice is casting Vincent Price in this movie. We should talk about him.
Can I really, really quickly just say, the audio also shifts quality a lot during this film, and I assume that's just because of production value or production issues, yada yada.
So this is a fan cut, so it's put together from 50 different sources and shit. So yeah.
I love that. I think it adds so much character to the film. It's great.
Ricky's like, I actually love when the projection in a movie theater is dog shit, and there's lines on the screen and moths flying around. I actually love when I can hear Tenet playing next door or Deadpool.
I went to watch Mulholland Drive in theaters, and they didn't set the screen up like David Lynch recommended in the letter that he sent out to theaters. Specifically as a fuck you, yeah.
Fuck you, David Lynch. We don't like you.
I was going, chicken jockey. Fucking opportunity. Throw popcorn
Mulholland
at the
Drive.
fucking screen. Yeah.
In the scene in the theater that they're in, at the end when they're crying.
If you see me twice, you won't be seeing me again. Chicken jockey.
God, it's so not funny, but you're so stupid. I can't help but laugh.
When they pan over to her deathly apartment, chicken jockey.
I am cutting so much.
Dead silent in the fucking film.
I feel like we've been recording for 3 hours. Can we talk?
Yeah, it does feel like that. Yeah.
Vincent Price. Do you know any Vincent Price?
Yeah, who's Vincent Price?
God,
no.
He's the Vizier. So he's the
great.
voice actor. Do you recognize his voice at all? I mean, he has one of the most iconic voices in movies, I would say. But maybe you don't.
I don't know. I wasn't really getting it.
Have you seen or ever listened to Thriller, the Michael Jackson song?
Is this a thriller? Yeah. Oh, the and the whatever the voiceover part that he does.
When he says the poem. Yeah.
Yes.
That's Vincent Price. Vincent Price was in approximately 654 million movies. He was a very prolific horror actor primarily, so he made a lot of kind of trashy complimentary.
I'm seeing him, yeah. The Tingler. Dr. Vibes rises again.
The Tingler, crazy movie. We should fucking watch
Return to the Fly. Wait, did he do The Fly? Was this guy The Fly?
He was the original.
He's in Return to the Fly.
He was in the original Fly, the one from the 60s. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was in a bunch of that shit. He was in an excellent fucking movie that I watched for Hooptober last year called Theater of Blood. That was
ooh.
I was like, okay, this is gonna be silly, dumb, whatever. It was so fucking fun and cool. It was a slasher movie where he plays a wronged Shakespearean actor, and he kills
I'm looking at him. He looks great in this movie.
He kills people according to different Shakespeare kills. So he does.
Oh wait, he looks way worse in one of the frames.
He looks insane. He's a crazy looking guy, but so
which is
He
great.
has just a great voice. He's in House on Haunted Hill, the first one, which is a fun movie. Like, very much a movie where it was like, they were starting to get a little edgier, so they were like, what if we put a whole skeleton on screen? Like,
Ooh. Better drink some milk, and then like the skeleton gets on screen and he starts saying, "You'll end up like me if you don't stay in school. Drink your milk and plenty of calcium." Yeah.
Have you seen Edward Scissorhands?
I have not.
It's okay. But he's in that movie too. He was a big like idol of Tim Burton. So he was like this actor who, you know, was kind of iconic in like a dark gothic whatever, campy, you know. But so seeing him in this movie where he does, I think, a fantastic job voice acting some truly bad lines. But like some of them are really, really bad.
The number of
balls!
times we'll just have someone
Yeah.
the number of times we'll have someone just repeat something like
Yeah.
multiple times, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, like, come on.
Yeah. But he makes it listenable. So I do wonder how much Burton was influenced by this movie, both the design of the Cobbler and Vincent Price being in it. Like, I'm sure he saw it, or he might have even fucking worked on it, because Burton used to be a Disney guy. So, you know, he was an animator and whatnot, but anyway.
What if we recobbled the Cobbler edition?
It's been recobbled like 5 times. Like, it's continuous
by people who
cobbling.
think they know better. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, you know how fan cuts are. Like, people will just do anything.
Yeah.
There is some. I know we've been talking about the animation that stands out. So like the Rube Goldberg at the end, the checker chase scene.
Yep.
One.
I think the beginning of the horse scene really stands out too. It's just like great, like the way that they like line up and everything.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And one other kind of like minor something that's especially with the thief, but also a couple of like the more slapstick scenes. It reminded me a lot of like Chuck Jones era Tom and Jerry or Looney Tunes. Like some of the like comedic timing and like the way the characters kind of like would like schlunk around. It just reminded me of those like classic cartoons. And considering production started in the 60s, I'm sure there was overlap like between the workers.
Yeah,
so.
100%. Yeah. The thief pole vaulting especially, and like like trying to get like
coming
that
up
last
short,
little
or like flying through the window.
just like sailing straight through. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
One also that I always love, and this another Burton thing, although the Burton movie I'm thinking of came out before this one, is the characters in the dark and all you can see are their eyes. They do that twice in this movie. I love that.
Yeah,
That's always a fun gag.
So good. It's so good, yeah. Especially the one at the end I loved with the Vizier getting like eaten by he's like, "Oh, and you're still here. And for my life I fear," or something like that. Yeah. It's so funny because like I wish they had stayed sort of consistent with that, like whether his bit was that he like always sort of speaks in like riddles and rhymes, or if it wasn't.
I think he does pretty much always speak in rhyme, or like very close.
Or close, yeah, or at least in some form of
cadence.
What is it, like pentameter or whatever? Yeah, cadence, particular cadence.
Pentameter.
But like he definitely breaks it a few times, and it's like kind of like weird and jarring. You're like, all right, like what's going on here, man?
I don't care though. I could listen to fucking
mojo.
Vincent Price speak for a whole movie straight, and I have, in fact.
That's why like I want him in like pentameter like the whole time, just like I don't know, dropping sick rhymes, man.
One other thing, since you mentioned being taken out, when the thief sees the ruby at the old witch, and he turns into a bird, and he has this like music cue that's from Night on Bald Mountain. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where it's like the
I know the exact music cue. Yes.
Yeah. I was like, I think it was the only piece of music I recognized of the whole thing, and that was like, I was like, did they do that because they didn't have music, or was that because it was in both cuts? Great music, but I was like, what the fuck?
A couple of times they play really triumphant scores for like something that the thief is doing, which is very like Yeah, which is very like, this is not triumphant. Like, why am I hearing this?
Yeah.
And they do that a few times where like the music just seems very off compared to like what's happening on screen. In terms of like building tension and stuff, which is weird because like what's happening on screen is obviously like timed very well, so that like it feels like they just picked music that sort of like fit well with like, oh, like action on screen, here is sound, like action on screen, here's sound, instead of like fitting the vibe, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is fine though.
Yeah, I have no idea how much of the score was like here's what the score like was supposed to be, and here's what we thought the score was maybe supposed to be, or like here's our music that we're putting in because we don't know what the score was supposed to be. Like it's hard to know. But there were definitely jarring moments. Zigzag's rings are so cool.
So cool. Especially because like he's got the diamonds on his feet too. You know, he's got like the like 12 of them or something. Yeah. It's cool. And it's also funny because like you would need a cobbler for that, and it's obvious that like he didn't go to like the cobbler for it, right?
Yeah, he went somewhere else.
I don't know. Yeah.
He's got those Jimmy Choos on.
Gotten from afar without not without quite a bit of what does he say? Expense and oh man, great effort I went through. It's funny. I don't know. It's very funny, like the way that
the balls.
Some of his lines, the balls. Some of his lines are very funny, and then some of them are just like
completely
the most like
off.
Yeah, like come on, get this guy off the screen, man. Yeah.
Well, because he says something when he first goes to, or when he goes to the king, and he's like, "Hey, I'll get you your balls back if you like let me marry your daughter." And the king's like,
give me your daughter.
No. And he leaves, and he says something in rhyme that's like, "I'm taking my balls and going." Like he says it like that, which is supposed to be like, "I'm taking my ball and going home," you know, like. But just saying it like all of the balls talk, which is way worse. The voice acting in the theatrical cut is bad. It's still Vincent Price, but there's a lot other, like the other voice actors are not. And it's just, I mean, Matthew Broderick, who has the, he's Ferris Bueller. I don't know if you know who Matthew Broderick is, but he does not have a great, like, he's Simba. He's the voice of Simba in the original.
Okay, yeah.
Not exactly the most.
That's not narration voice.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
definitely not the voice to be like, my balls. Like it's terrible. So
my golden balls.
Yeah.
They're top of my. Well, what is it?
Minaret.
Minaret. Yeah. Minaret.
We're just teaching you all kinds of words here.
I know, it's great. I'm still going up.
You mentioned his shoes.
Yeah.
This movie's kind of crazy lewd.
At times it is, yeah.
There's like a storyboarded or like a half animated scene when they're at like the polo game, and it's the vizier, the sultan is sleeping, and then the princess, and he like looks at the princess and his beard gets erect. Did you catch that?
Yeah. I
was like, the fuck? Put that away.
They've done that. Like Disney has done that as well.
Sure, but it's a little more subtle.
I feel like that. Yeah, I feel like that might have been a thing in. I mean, maybe it was a thing in Aladdin, but like it's definitely been in other movies where like it'll do
something
like the curl
erect.
up or like the like swing out when it's like a normally curled beard.
Not the swing.
Yeah, well, that's what it is, right? And both of them I think are like equally kind of funny, whether it's like coming back or going out. Yeah.
Well, that and then the because is it the lady from Mombasa? Or the maiden from Mombasa?
Yeah. And like everyone in the crowd, they're like,
is like, ooh. Like, but then they actually show, like, they cut to the thief when he's trying to get into the castle. He like goes through like the outhouse or like the sewer system, and he hears them fucking. I was like, they thought they could put this in the movie? Like they thought they could do? Who told them they could do? Richard Williams was that when he was
stealing the back scratchers thing?
Before that. It was right before that. He like goes, he's like going through the pipes because he falls into the moat, and then he goes and crawls through the sewer system, and he comes out a little toilet, and he hears the Sultan and the maiden like fucking, like pretty explicitly, Like, in the next room, they're,
That's
like,
fucking
moaning
crazy,
and shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
I missed that. I might have been. I must have been.
You
texting
probably
or
blocked
something
it
on my
out
phone, and I
because
missed
you
that.
were like, I don't want to hear this. I also,
That's crazy. What the fuck?
when I was describing it, I almost made moaning sounds, and I was like, I will not record that for people to listen to.
Let's not clip that. Thanks.
Yeah, you will not.
Chat
clip that.
anti-clip that.
Yeah, that's. Sometimes I'm like, are there weirdo freaks out there listening and that are like, oh, Lane and Ricky's voices? Yeah, literally
How
like
sensual.
that.
Yeah.
You know, there's, I mean, like I listen to a few podcasts and there will be weird discussions about the like women on their like, or you know that, yeah, like from the fans. It'll be like, oh, so and so sounds so hot in this episode, or it's like, this person's talking about Taco Bell.
Cool,
like,
man. Yeah.
yeah. Please go outside and interact with anyone.
Yeah.
There's so much free pornography. Why are you putting your pornography into something normal?
Have you like seen the sun? Just at all recently,
No.
you know, through a window, through blinds, even
Through the
like,
walls,
yeah,
the sweat. My balls.
my balls. As long as my balls stay, then my kingdom shall not fall.
We're so off the chain tonight. One other just
We're
while
so
I'm
off
griping,
the minaret tonight, bro.
one other or a couple other notes about the theatrical version, just to like drive home how bad it is. So the animation from like the good version, right, the recobbled one, it's very beautiful. It's like detailed and rich, and like the colors are all like very lush.
Beautiful, yeah.
It's
like a nicer pastel at times. It's pastel in certain moments, and then sometimes it's like a brighter, poppier
it's vibrant
version. I don't know how to describe it. Yeah, it's awesome.
Do you ever make PowerPoints, or did you as a kid?
I
Or,
did
like,
as
in
a kid, yeah.
If I described...
I do now, but like no fun ones.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Really a lost art, the fun PowerPoint,
Truly,
like the transitions
truly.
and stuff.
We should make PowerPoints and like get together and show off PowerPoints. It could be about like, you know, like something we're like,
I've seen those
something we're
memes.
excited about.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That's what this podcast is, Ricky. What do you fucking think?
I know.
Like, this is basically the
I know.
podcast.
It's Ricky enrichment time. This is you're putting me in the putting fucking blocks in my crib for me, and I'm yeah, I get to put them in the fucking square peg goes in the square hole. Yeah, thanks, Lane.
I've told you that when I'm at physical therapy that I'm like a little kid that needs the stimulation, like that my physical therapist. So they have me doing shit that they're like, oh no, we make everybody do this. I'm like, no, you don't. You don't make people pick up marbles with their toes. Like, that is not something...
They give you like a fucking like bop it. They're like, yeah, we make everyone do the bop it while they're doing physical therapy.
So one of the things I have to do is I have to stand on a ramp that's like a 30-degree or 45-degree incline just to like stretch out my calves and Achilles.
Yeah.
And one time I complained about it. I was like, oh, this is my 9/11. And the physical therapist laughed, which I was like, I'm going to get an A in physical therapy. But then...
I'm so good at this.
Yeah. But then
Everybody likes me here.
She was like, I can put the buttons up if you'd like. And I was like, what? And there are these like, they're like the like Simon Says buttons kind of, where you stick them onto the wall and you have to like tap them in order as they light up. And I was oh, I am a child. Like, you do think I'm a kid that needs a screen. I do. Oh, God.
For a second, I didn't know if they were, like, far more analog, and they had, like, buttons on strings, like Coraline style, like, buttons on strings, that, like, they would just, like, jangle, like, keys in front of your face. You're, like, the 3-year-old stage, not the 6-month-old stage, but, like, they're both buttons either way, right?
Oh, my God. They're actually elevator buttons. They just light up when you press them and you just turn them off. They're hooked up to nothing. Oh my God.
I gotta get them all lit at once. I'm like, actually, like, you can't do that. I'm gonna do it. Like just running your arms across it.
Me.
I would do that at a kids club after school in like first grade with there was like a TV with like there was like a little camera game where it was like essentially Fruit Ninja, but it would like. It would, like, use, like, your body motion. And I would literally, like, sit there and, like, do this. And I'd be like, I gotta get them all, man. Like, be, like, jumping up in the air. I'm waving my arms wildly. And I was kind of doing, like a like a chest press, like you would do at the gym, but way quicker than anyone ever should. Lane is showing off their empty smart water bottle, which they have attempted to deprive of oxygen as well. Getting their money's worth out of there.
Maybe I can do.
I need all that plastic taste.
Maybe I will start moaning into the mic and doing
You got to get the. I can't hear that at all. I don't know if it's getting picked up.
You couldn't hear the clinking. This you can't hear my Instagram or
oh maybe
tapping?
a little bit. I think Discord is cutting it out with like Chris or whatever. Yeah.
My levels are just lines when I do that.
Nice. Okay, Discord is definitely cutting it out then.
Yeah, fair. Sorry, future Lane, for having to deal with all that shit.
You have to get like the binaural thing and like you get two microphones and then talk in between it.
I could do it. I
Get
I
microphones
find myself,
that look like ears.
You know, the influencer
People say
tap,
that like works or something. Yeah. Anyway.
the influencer tap is really silly. Like here's my product and I'm gonna like tap it to the.
Oh.
But,
okay.
I do find myself tapping on things with my nails when I have actual nails. They are tapping, like they're constantly doing it. So I understand. Yeah, I can't hear that. I can't hear any of those sounds. Nothing.
Ooh.
Can't.
I don't
Okay,
hate that.
this is terrible. This is such a fucking bad episode. It's
Welcome
the
to Ricky and
recobbled
Lane's
version.
auditory experience.
Yeah.
RLEA.
Anyway.
Oh, AE, whatever.
The PowerPoint. Do you remember if I described the old-timey PowerPoint background textures, would you know what I was talking about?
Yeah. Oh,
the,
yeah.
sea and like pink. There's one that's like really pink for no reason.
Yeah.
That is what they
The
used.
vibes are this movie, yeah, for sure.
In the theatrical cut, that I'm not
okay.
like being funny. Like it really, I was like, are those the PowerPoint textures from my youth that are inexplicably actually still in PowerPoint? If you go there right now, you can see what I'm talking about. But that's what the theatrical cut looks like. So
I was going to say that. I mean, I think the recobbled version looks like it inspired PowerPoint. Like somebody watched it and they were like, "Oh my god!" Like. Now, what if I took this and I zoomed in on like 2 blocks and
then
I
we
blew
talked
it up
about
to the
key
entire
performance
screen?
indicators.
Yeah. Any KPIs in the chat? Huh? Anyway. Now, what if I faded into my SQL chart?
You know, we say that, but Star Wars was doing like wipes and shit with the screen.
Yeah, and like the like circle fades or whatever.
Yeah. We'll have to watch Citizen Kane again. Earlier today, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to pick another Lane's frame. Like this will be a Lane's frame again after this movie." And I was like, "Do I just pick Kane? Do I just pick Citizen Kane?"
Fuck it. Let's do it. We'll do it live.
No,
let's do it. Let's do another pod right now on Citizen Kane.
On a movie I know you haven't seen in 4 years. That would go well.
4?
Kane?
4? Kane? 4 years?
When's the last time you've seen Citizen Kane? With me. You've seen it once.
Yeah,
and it was
I feel like
me.
that wasn't 4 years ago, bro. 4?
I'm gonna pull it up. Let me check the logs.
4?
It was at least 3. Citizen Kane. God, he was so hot in this movie. It's so crazy. We could never do this movie. Wow, that's crazy. It was March 24th, 2023. So it was two years. My bad. I'm sorry.
Your time's passing twice as fast. It's because of this movie, bro. The pacing just threw you so far off. You just can't recalibrate.
The Thief is still going. Yeah.
You what?
The Thief is still going.
Oh, true. Yeah, he's stealing time away. I like the little ending bit too, as he like steals the reel, the film reel.
He's still stealing Charles Foster Kane balls.
His snow globe ball. I don't know. I'll work on it.
No, the lewdness, that was years ago when we were talking about that. When he's doing the tightrope walk. Or is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is also
when he wraps his foot around it, and it's like when he puts him in the rope. I thought you were going like the foot fetishist route because they really do a lot of like foot grip in the thing, and I was like, man, bro, put them things away. Cobbling along, yeah.
But that's
why he needs shoes. But yeah, when he puts it in like the rags, his like rags clothing, it's definitely it's just ball sack, yeah.
There's a lot happening. There's a lot of pendulous breasts in the witch scene too. Like I feel like she's
yeah,
yeah, they're dangling.
Where did she pull the
I don't know.
her stethoscope from? Yeah, because that definitely seemed like it was a
a little joke. Yeah.
Up the granny fanny type of thing. Yeah.
Well, this guy fucking was the animation director in Roger Rabbit, which is full of like people sticking their hands up women's skirts and shit. So
yeah,
I'm not surprised. We should talk about the end. You mentioned the end credits, the like meta, that's always great.
Cute.
There's like 3 totemic versions of that. There's like the Looney Tunes Duck Amuck, right?
Yep.
Where he's like, is it Duck Amuck? Where he takes the artist's drawing on Daffy, Daffy Duck. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Not really, no. But I'll agree. Like I know.
You know the Squidward. What is the name of that episode? Future. What is the name of that
SB129.
Yes, thank you. I was like, I know it. Yeah. That I feel like is very influenced by an old Looney Tunes classic where Daffy is like at the whims of the animator and they're like going back and forth and
okay, yeah.
The animator erases Daffy's face and shit.
Yes, yeah. I've seen animator versus animation on like YouTube and stuff like that where they do just the same thing.
The end of this kind of like the very end with the thief taking the film, reminded me of that.
Yeah.
But
he's just in it for the love of the game. Doesn't matter if it destroys his entire universe and like really being, right? He's just there to steal.
You're just in it for the love of saying that phrase.
I mean, at this point, yeah, sure.
My cat is looking at something like there's something there, and I'm afraid.
Lionel's looking at me. I got Milo looking at me as well.
Do you see something or not? Or do you see Ricky? Banksy's like right off screen staring, and I can't... What do you see, baby? I had an adrenaline shot like no other earlier today because I went to repot a plant, and I've been having the battle of all time with the house centipedes that have come out for
we get ants
spring. I'll take ants over fucking house centipede. House centipedes,
fair.
Piss in fear. But so I've been fine. I've killed a couple of them, and I was like feeling brave. And then I went to repot a plant that I was like, oh, it's spring. I'll repot this plant. Like it'll be great. And I went and dug in the soil, and there were like 7 babies, and I was on edge for like 6 hours. I was like, I have to get Taco Bell to calm down. Basically, I stopped. I need Taco Bell
in the smart water right now. I swear to God.
That's for real. That is why I have the smart water. I was like, I
need
so
self-soothe, right? Like I need something.
Yeah. I was so stressed. I could feel my shoulders up to my ears. And just like I was like I can't. I need to like really go back into like fetal like nourishment. No. Anyway, we should talk about the end battle scene because it is. Is that Lionel?
Yeah, he's doing the leg stretch thing.
He's cute.
He is cute.
Banksy's like right off over here on the little flower tree.
Oh,
curled up. Yeah.
I got Milo up in the...
Oh, God, Milo. Milo's my boyfriend.
Milo.
He's so beautiful.
Alright, dude, whatever.
I'm sending you a Snapchat of Banksy right now.
Blowing my nose. I'll try to get off mic, sorry.
It's fine, I'm cutting all... This thing is chopped and screwed worse than the thief and the cobbler. It's alright.
Yeah, right? Dude.
We should talk about the battle scene at the end because it is the most... I think impressive, second only to the checkerboard scene.
It's cute.
Oh, here I am having a podcast, and here you are saving my Snapchats and chat of Banksy.
You just sent me a picture of your cat. Come on.
I know.
He's cute.
I love that it's all red. Also, I love that big ass crab machine that like war machine.
Yeah.
Because they show a little clip of it in the theatrical version, and I was like,
and it's got
what
like
the
the
fuck
like
was that?
triangle like claws.
Yeah. And so to see it in its full glory here in the Cobbler cut, I was like, oh,
I'd say a lot of parts of this movie inspired like movies that I enjoyed growing up. I'd say that inspired Atlantis.
Maybe.
The Leviathan. That's sort of like, I feel like that was sort of contributed to it. It's pretty good. I mean, that's why I named Milo and Kita after.
I remember, because you're horny for the one lady.
Yeah. Helga or whatever, Olga. Yeah, the blonde. Yeah, but I don't know. There were a couple others I was thinking of. Road to El Dorado a little bit.
You know who's
I mean, that's just because like who?
Do you know who plays the blonde? It's Ken
No.
Branagh. Swear to God.
Oh, interesting. Wait.
Yeah, he's hot even in animated form.
Is he? Who is he?
He's the blonde, or like, who is he in real life?
Who is he? Yeah.
You're like, oh, right. By the way, who is that? Henry
I'm
V.
thinking it's the guy. Oh,
from the movie Henry V.
Right.
Director,
yes. Yeah.
also.
No, I remember him.
Lockhart.
He's not. Who is Who is
other
the guy from the boat movie?
You're gonna have
from
to.
Fitzcarraldo. Who's the
Werner
main
Herzog?
actor from? Maybe.
That's the
like Val Kilmer. No, maybe that's Val Kilmer. Is that Val Kilmer?
No,
Is that
no?
Who was like just notoriously horrible to work with on set?
Klaus Kinski is the.
Oh,
the actor.
never mind.
Jesus,
Not
how
bad.
did we get to fucking Klaus Kinski from?
Because that's
Ken
what I thought you were
Branagh?
talking about. I don't know.
That would be crazy if
Ken
Klaus
Branagh.
Kinski was in a Disney movie.
He's incorrigible even as a voice actor. They're like, we just couldn't stand to be on set with this guy.
Should we watch Hamlet next? Maybe we should watch the. Maybe have I worked us into the Ken Branagh Hamlet?
Hamlet? Oh, okay. I was thinking the Lin-Manuel Miranda fucking play. I was like,
Hamilton. You want to watch Hamilton?
oh, right.
Hamilton,
Yeah, because
Hamlet.
because Hamilton's the American thing. Hamlet is is Shakespeare. Yeah, okay, yeah.
The French. You almost just said French.
Oh, the French champagne.
Holy shit. Okay. The end of this movie, the machine.
Yeah.
You were describing how it looks influential on movies that you had seen, like Atlantis.
Well, that in particular,
Alvarado.
but like I feel like different parts of the movie, like for sure. I mean, obviously Aladdin is like very similar in certain regards.
Aladdin stole this movie. Aladdin owes its fucking bones to this movie, for sure.
I think one of Tarzan's most defining scenes where he's like swinging through the trees and like he's like doing like the swing around. He's like sliding on the trees, I should say.
Classic.
And he's
Tarzan
like
thing.
sliding his legs like back and forth, and it's like a really like beautiful scene. And I think that's the I don't know. There's some super iconic song in the background. I don't remember. Phil Collins is just killing it.
You like that soundtrack?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that fucking sound.
You're
I don't
crazy.
really like Phil Collins. So,
crazy.
But I'm sorry.
But yeah, I just feel like it influenced a lot of like Disney golden years, and I like, again, it either influenced it or saw it and maybe not tried to improve upon it, but was like, oh, like that's great. We need something similar to that in our movie, right?
Well,
and if he was showing these clips around trying to get funding, I could see that inspiring.
And not just that too, but like there were hundreds of people who worked on this movie over the 3 decades. Like people died before this movie was finished. You know,
Jesus.
like for real, like the lead animator, like not Richard Williams, but like one of his lead guys was like 60 when they started, and he died in the 80s because he was, you know, in his 80s. Like, so I'm sure that there were plenty of like fresh meat, you know, that probably worked on this in the 80s and early 90s before it came out. That like, they probably like took things with them, you know, and then went and made other things that were influenced by it. So
which is super cool. It's so nice to see like the like fingerprint of different animators on it and being like, wow, like that's craft. That's craft right there.
Yeah. Are you eating fruit gummies right now? Are you eating fucking gummy bears? Where'd you get those?
What do you mean?
Where'd you get those gummy bears from?
You gave them to me.
When?
What do you mean when? Like 3 months ago? 4 months ago?
I never bought you gummy bears.
Go back and listen to the Minecraft episode.
And then the other episode.
Get some hard truths.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we want to say about The Thief and the Cobbler? We definitely went longer than the movie. Than both cuts of the movie. My cat just turned into a croissant. He is fully a circle right now. Yeah.
Do you remember
the 25th
of
September? 21st?
21st. Is it the witch who, like, beats up the thief in the beginning? Who beats up the thief in the beginning?
It's the
like, straightens him out.
It's the princess's, like, lady in waiting.
Like, handmaiden. Yes. Yeah.
I wouldn't call her
that was a super cool... Well, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I know.
That was a super cool scene, and I really, really enjoyed it. That was just, like, sick, man.
It was cute. Yeah, it was good animation.
Well, yeah, like, just, like, the way it was animated. I feel like there are a lot of, like, super visually stunning scenes in the beginning, which are, like, really well fleshed out, and then as the movie goes on, they'll have, like...
It dropped off a little.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, well, they'll have, like, hey, like, look at this, like, epic 10-second of animation, and then it either, like, repeats, or it's...
Yeah,
or it's, like, storyboarded, But there are, like, a few... I mean, we talked about, like, the main scenes, which are, like, very sort of there, or, like, influential.
Yeah.
I wish they had storyboarded a little bit more of the, like, brigands, or the... whatever you would call them. The Queen's Royal Guard.
You're like, I wish there was more
the
racism
end.
in this.
Against
there wasn't enough racism.
Against one-eyed soldiers. So, like, there's...
The what
like,
soldiers?
Dude, stop, bro. What is happening, man? Like, they have, like, their shields, which are, like, really coolly patterned, and, like, they're all, like, the same, right? And they sort of, they look similar to, like, the card soldiers in, like, Alice from Wonderland, talking about getting to the bottom of a rabbit hole. So it's, like, it's really cool. I've been waiting to make that joke for, like, an hour and a half, man. But yeah, I don't know, it's super cool, and, like, visually interesting, and I wish we could have seen that fleshed out, and maybe, I don't know, I feel like if that had come to fruition,
maybe one
you might have
or
been able
two
to have a
fewer erection
nicer...
jokes.
Yeah. And then also, Rube Goldberg machine was just sick. That's, like...
It was.
I mean, it's super red, but, like, that's, like, peak animation. They bring it back
cool.
at the end, you know?
Yeah. It looks It looks like the fiery depths of hell. It's awesome.
Yeah. And, like, we see the thief, like, you know, condemned to hell, and then he manages to make it back. It's fun.
Yeah. I liked it.
Do you
have more.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm putting my thesis together, my summary, my closing triangle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. I think it's a shame that it, you know, the better finished version is not a complete movie. You know, I do like it though. I think it's a fascinating object, but it leaves a little bit to be desired still. The fact that, you know, the writer and director didn't really make any other stuff of his own, like, obviously Roger Rabbit is like a whole thing of itself, but like this director did not go on to, like, and then he, you know, moved on and made this, like, he kind of never recovered. And it's kind of like, you know, sometimes people have, like, especially directors or writers, they'll have like one idea, or like a band. You know, people often talk about, like, the sophomore slump, where it's like your first thing is great because it takes you 5 years to make it before you make it big, you publish it, and it's amazing. But then your second thing comes out and you don't have as much polish because it's like your next thing. It hasn't been your passion project for so long. And this is like the most, like, fucking debilitating sophomore slump of all time, because I don't think he made anything else really.
He's a one-hit wonder. You know, it's just
kind of, and even then, it
took
wasn't
him 30
a hit.
years to make the one hit. Yeah, which didn't hit.
This movie made like $200,000, like, in the 90s. And like, and the budget was like $50 million.
80% of that was just off of cereal box fucking merchandising. That's it.
Basically, Basically, yeah. I mean, as
They,
far
and
as like
they lost all of it to Y2K and the magnet reset, so like
it's good. You know, I like that it's
it is
free.
good. I liked it. Yeah. I like that I didn't have to pay for it.
Fuck Aladdin as always. I'm anti-Aladdin. I do not like Aladdin.
Hell yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, I'm like, what's your favorite Disney movie? Do you have like of the classic animation?
Yeah.
Is it Atlantis?
I don't know if Atlantis is a part of the classic animation, Disney animation.
Oh, I guess
if it
I'm
is,
a fucking fake fan.
then it might be.
Maybe it's not. I might have just made that up wholesale. Hold, please. I might cut this so I don't sound stupid. No, it's Disney. It's Walt Disney Pictures.
It is Disney, but there's like a specific golden era that people refer to. It is a part of that, I guess.
That's the Renaissance. Yeah. Well, Walt Disney feature animation.
Renaissance,
like
that's the big one.
Lion King, Mulan, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Hercules, Mermaid, Pocahontas.
I liked Mulan a lot growing up, and Hercules as well. I mean, Pocahontas is like a really beautiful movie. Bambi is super cute. None of the rest of these are really calling to me. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite song?
It's probably a Phil Collins song, to be honest with you.
That's so crazy. You should be in jail with Phil Collins. Like, you guys should
Dude,
be fucking...
I'd love to listen to him as a fucking bunkmate. That'd be sick, man.
I have nothing against him personally. I'm sure he's a perfectly normal guy. He had a daughter who makes decent movies. What?
Beauty and the Beast is also great.
Okay, Beauty and the Beast has the best song in any of the Disney... I don't think...
Is it Be Our Guest?
Really... No.
No? What is it?
Okay, I'm hot taking right now. I kind of goaded you into this so I could have my hot take.
Yeah.
I think the Gaston song.
Yeah. No one rocks like Gaston. Yeah.
Yeah, no one fucks like Gaston. Like, honestly. I really do think that is the most triumphant song in any Disney movie. I might be smoking crack, but like...
Triumphant? I feel like Hercules has one or two songs which are pretty
just like the most, like, perfect pop song. You know, like I hate the song Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast is okay as far as movies go. Like, I like it, but...
I think it has some, like, really beautiful animation. I think it's awesome.
It is beautiful.
Super cool, super flavorful, or, like, soulful, I guess, is probably the better way to put it. Yeah.
It's a great movie, but, the fucking song Beauty and the Beast, I hate that song. That song sucks. That song's fucking ass.
Which one is that?
Tale as old as time.
Oh, yeah. Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, not a fan. Yeah.
Be Our Guest is fun.
Yeah.
I feel like Be Our Guest.
Yeah.
Gaston?
I love the animation on that too. The Gaston song, as good as it is,
why are we talking about this? Who said this? Sorry.
I feel like it has a lot of low-key, like, draw to it, because anytime somebody, like, talks about, like, a funny song or a memorable song from Disney, they'll mention Gaston. But, like, I don't know, it's just not my favorite personally, I guess I'd say. Yeah.
It's because you're a fake fan.
True.
Honestly. Real Gaston heads. I'm those blonde bitches in the beginning that are like, oh, Gaston, why do you like this bookish girl?
Yeah.
Like my titties.
Do you want these eggs? And he's like, I will take those.
Yeah, I need 12 dozen a day.
A day? Yeah. One gross, as one might say.
Alright, is it a late stream?
It is.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Isn't it an already established Lane's frame?
That episode comes out last week.
Okay,
so
my
we're
bad.
Recording out of order. No, it's okay. We're recording out of order because of Pride and Prejudice. Do you want to watch an old Russian movie?
Yeah, sure.
Let's watch Battleship Potemkin. This is the oldest
interesting.
movie.
Okay.
This is a while ago I gave you this option as like a short but very old movie. This movie's from 1925, directed by Sergei Eisenstein. So this is a fucking old. This is gonna
Yeah.
be probably the oldest movie we watch, maybe ever. Depending. Unless we
Dude,
ever
Thief
crack
and the
into,
Cobbler
like-
hadn't even started production.
There was a whole Thief and the Cobbler. We should start measuring time in
In,
production.
like, in
This
terms
is
of,
one
like, Thief and the
Cobbler.
Cobbler. This is just
Um,
the if of Thief right now.
It's one if of Thief. Okay, yes, so next week we want to watch Battleship Potemkin by Sergei Eisenstein from 1925. This is about like a mutiny, I believe, like a ship mutiny in
Cool.
Russia. So I believe it's propaganda, but it is a super influential movie. People talk about it all the time. It's like well known. There are specific scenes of it you might have even seen like GIFs of, but
I'll
I
keep
have not
my
seen
eye
it, so-
out. Yeah,
I'm
I've seen the like, not tagline for it, the poster for it a couple of times.
poster.
Whenever I check like Letterboxd,
It's a
and I'm like,
crazy
"Man,
poster.
that-
Yeah.
it looks so fucking cool." And I'm like, I really want to watch this, but I remembered you suggested it before, and you're like, all right, like we'll save that for like
Yeah.
whatever. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Holy
Sweet.
shit. 2 hours? Bitch.
Are we ending it?
No one fucks like Gaston.
True. No one trucks like
Something
Gaston.
else. No one's ass is quite like a dump truck like Gaston's. I
Wait,
use
wait.
antlers in all of my decorating.
No one
I
fucks
want
like
an
Gaston.
ass.
No one sucks like Gaston. No one's ass is as dump truck at. Wait, no. No one's ass is as dump truck as Gaston.
No one has.
No one's ass dump trucks like
What did I
Gaston.
say? What did I
Yeah,
just say?
I don't
I
know.
literally
Fuck.
just said
We have to
this.
go back. We have to go back 10 seconds.
No one has an ass. No one.
You worked dump truck in near the end,
I
and I was
know,
like,
I
oh,
know.
that'd be a great way to, yeah.
No one's
No
ass
one's
is quite as
ass.
dump truck like
trucks?
Gaston's. No one's ass is quite as dump truck as Gaston's. I think is.
Oh, that's hard
is
to
great.
sing jovially. Yeah, this is We Want to Watch. My name's Ricky.
No one's slick as Gaston, no one's quick as Gaston, no one's next as incredibly thick as Gaston, for there's no man in town half as manly. Perfect, a pure paragon. You can ask any Tom, Dick, or Stanley, and they'll tell you whose team they prefer to be on.